I think one of the challenges is here is you've got a TV director, but also working with like kind of a TV, like, so Rob Lieber, he did like Peter Rabbit movie, he did like a Goosebumps movie, and then he did the Goldbergs. Okay, that's his like big fucking stuff. So you got like not a great screenwriter, you got a like TV director, which is not bad, but again, it's not real. Like this is his first kind of big feature. If I think it's actually like you said, his first feature. Where the original Karate Kid, the writer did Taps, and the director shot Rocky. Like that film is like they treat their subject matter seriously. By the time you get to this, you are making content. This is content.
We're waxing off this week because we're talking movies. We're talking Karate Kid Legends, starring Ben Wang, Jackie Chan, and Ralph Macchio. Directed by Jonathan Entwistle. Chris, everything is kung fu.
Oh, you're just gonna say, you're not gonna say the pizza is kung fu, the boxing is kung fu, but to that I say, one tree, two branches. Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? And like one tree, two branches. Scott, this is one tree, and you are the other branch. So why don't you take us away on Karate Kid Legends? Hoya!
Okay, so for those who haven't watched it, I'll give you a quick synopsis. So a kid moves from his home with a single mom to a new area. Being a fish out of water, he befriends a girl who has a very aggressive ex who is a karate champion, and his dojo is very ruthless. The kid gets trained to enter a karate tournament so, he can right the wrongs of the past and maybe get the girl. Did I miss anything?
So we're talking about 1984's Karate Kid, right, Scott?
Or Karate Kid Part 2? Or the next Karate Kid?
Or Karate Kid 2010? Or... No. But today we are actually talking about the 2025 release, Karate Kid Legend. And yeah, you summed up that movie fantastically, except that one of those films, I would say the 1984 Karate Kid OG, fantastic piece of filmmaking, fantastic piece of like zeitgeist of its time, talking about class and what it means to, move across the country, like all that type of stuff, single mom, all that, like working class, very working class film. This kind of hot garbage. I don't know. What was your take on this film, Scott?
Well, I wouldn't say it's hot garbage.
Okay, it's warm garbage. Can we agree it's kind of garbage though?
Well, that's the thing. Like in the Karate Kid, like if you're just looking at this franchise kind of thing, this film series, it's fine for it, right? It does a nice little intertwine, so you can get like what the remix version with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith intermixed with the OG with
Macchio,
Ralph Macchio and Cobra, and like still giving like homage to the original and the Cobra Kai series. Like it's fine. Like for me, I think
because you were not excited to watch this movie when I suggested it. Like I very rarely do I feel so like little interest from you. Usually you're pretty like go with the flow kind of guy, flow like water, as they say, not like stone. You were not excited about this movie.
No, I wasn't. And I think the main thing is, I think this is Sony, right? Sony's the one that produced it. Like they told you right up front, this wasn't going to be like you need to go to the theaters, because there's very minimal marketing for this movie. Not much press. Like it just seems like it just got dumped. And that's why I was like, this one's definitely like a streamer film for me. But going to the theater, like it was fine. Like to me, I think this could have been a lot tighter.
Fucking right. Yeah,
And
good. Absolutely. Absolutely. I
I
agree with you.
think Jonathan, who the director Jonathan Entwistle, is that how
And
you
whistle.
pronounce
Yeah.
it? This is his first feature, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he
And-
primarily comes out of TV. He did the End of the Fucking World series and I'm Not Okay with This. Those are two of his big titles.
yeah, so like I think some of the cinematography, some of the choices made were pretty interesting and well done. Like I did like the concept of this 5 boroughs tournament. Even though like logistically I don't think it would have worked in real life.
But we'll talk about the tournament in a sec. Hopefully, I remember to come back to it because there's a lot of this film felt like it was trying to do a whole lot of shit all together, and I feel like it didn't pull off any of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't know, I don't even remember the dojo's name, Diamond Fist or whatever the fuck it is. But okay, spoilers. I think in reality, like the leader of this dojo is like the worst fucking gangster in the fucking world. Because I'm gonna do some spoiling.
Oh yeah,
like,
we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna spoil this movie for you. So if you need to stop, stop now because I want to be able to just have a totally fulsome conversation about this movie because this even spoiling it. Scott already told you the fucking premise of this movie. It's every other Karate Kid movie. So okay, Scott, go ahead.
You have been warned.
for the first, I would say 45 minutes, I was intrigued of this movie because I thought it was going to be like a reverse, and I was hoping it was going to be a reverse where we find out that fucking Canada's own Joshua Jackson is the new Karate Kid. Like when they had that training where it goes the reverse, right? And then it goes the reverse, and you know, he and Ben Wong's character, like they have technically the the skeleton fight where Mr. Miyagi first comes out, but now it's the young kid coming to save the old man.
That would have been
I'm
actually
like,
a way better movie, Scott. Like I didn't see that. Like there was like I knew that was like it's not a feign, but it was like a sub B story plot or whatever. Actually, I just want to go watch that movie. Let's watch that movie where the kid trains the karate man.
Right. So he training him into boxing. So now he, using, because everything is kung fu.
Everything's kung
right?
fu.
So like and then when he has that fight, okay. So again, spoilers. So Joshua Jackson's character.
Which, by the way, at first I was like, is that Joshua Jackson? And then I'm like, I don't think it's Joshua Jackson. And then when I actually like looked up, I was like, yeah, he's put on some size and stuff, eh?
Yeah. Like he looked good.
Hey.
But
why didn't they make him fucking Italian though? They're supposedly like this Italian fucking eatery, and they got like Vancouver-born white bread Joshua Jackson. Joshua, by the way, I love Joshua Jackson, but I'm like, you couldn't find an Italian? They shot in Montreal. You know what Montreal has a lot of other than French people? Fucking Italians, including the mafia. So like, you could have found French, or maybe that was the problem. All the mafia people and the French, they're all French Canadian Italians or whatever. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah.
So, I digress.
So he owes this. It's a karate dojo owner who's also small time mob guy. So he owes him 20,000 or something like that, but he can't pay. But he has I could only imagine what rent is for a pizzeria.
In Manhattan. Well, it's not Manhattan. Are they in Manhattan? I felt like they were in Manhattan.
Maybe, right? Because he was saying go to the tunnel to go to New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
But so first half of this movie, Ben Wan's character is now training Joshua Jackson's, and then he goes into a fight. So again, this and the fight is, I guess, run by this, shady businessman, underground fight. So he owes him money. Joshua Jackson's character is the underdog, so his odds are fucking high.
Mm-hmm.
So when he starts winning.
Well, I don't know if he was the underdog because he was like the former champion, but maybe he was the underdog.
They said, he's like, don't bet against me, right? Like, I got this kind of thing. So this guy runs this fight right when, Joshua Jackson character is about to pull the win. He looks at the other opponent, gives him the nod, and then,
then just like elbows, like just fucking throwing refs. By the way, there is multiple times in this movie where opponents or competitors like physically touch the referee like violently, no consequences. So yes, maybe in the underground match. Hold on, we'll talk about this more. I want you to keep going.
Okay. So then he hospitalizes Joshua Jackson.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not like in some movies where there's like an underhanded, like the ref doesn't see it. The guy throws like a couple like fucking elbows into the dude's head, throws the ref out of the way, and then punches the guy into the face and twists his neck. You're just like, imagine this is an underground match where everybody is betting, right? Mm-hmm. If you're any of the other motherfuckers that bet on that fight, you're going to want to rip the fucking arms off the guy who just clearly nodded and threw the fight. It's sort of like Bricktop in Snatch, right? Like all bets are off. You change fighters, all bets are off. Like you do something clearly in violation of the rules. I'm not paying my bookie. I'm going to be like, fuck you. That guy just did some bullshit. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I'm just going to do the reverse. Again, you technically run the fight. You're running the odds. This guy owes you money. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're in league with the opponent. Why don't you just get the other guy to fucking throw the fight? So now you're betting huge money on Joshua Jackson. You make your money tenfold, and he knows he still owes him the money. So you're still getting the money from Joshua Jackson.
Yeah, that's right.
They even have the line like, "Is this how you're gonna repay me?" And he goes, "Yeah." So clearly you don't want the fucking money. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, I'm over this movie.
By the way, when I bet on any type of sports activity, Scott is the person I talk to because I am clearly not anywhere as good at it as he is. Yeah, that was crazy. And then also he didn't fight very well. Like all the ninja shit at the beginning that he was like learning the kung fu, he's not using. And it's basically not until he's getting his ass handed to him that suddenly he's like, okay, now I got to use the ninja shit. It's like, no, use the ninja shit right away. It would have been cool if we go down the road that you were going to go down where it's like, we are now going to make him the Karate Kid. Actually, that works with what I'm about to say, where you go in and you beat the fucking shit out of that other guy. Like, bang, 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 knockout. And it's like, yeah, boom. But then the debt's paid off. So you've solved that problem. So bad writing. Like, I think one of the challenges is here is you've got a TV director, but also working with like kind of a TV, like, so Rob Lieber, he did like Peter Rabbit movie. He did like a Goosebumps movie. And then he did the Goldbergs. Okay. Like that's his like big fucking stuff. So you got like not a great screenwriter. You got a like TV director, which is not bad, but again, it's not real. Like this is his first kind of big feature. I think it's actually, like you said, his first feature, where the original Karate Kid, the writer did Taps and the director shot Rocky. Like that film is like, they treat their subject matter seriously. By the time you get to this, you are making content. This is content. The crazy part though, and I was like, oh man, like I looked at the Rotten Tomatoes score, but I had only at first looked at the critic score, and the critic score is like 59. I'm like, yeah, that's about right. 90% audience. Like this, we're recording this the weekend of this open. It has a 90% audience score. It had a $45 million budget. Already did $47 million at the box office. Now, whether that number continues to grow, because as we know, like there's very little marketing, so that's going to be good for that budget. Box office, let's just call it 50 million. You got 25 million of that's basically going to the Cineplex. So they still got a ways to go. But like, if this even just holds for a bit, these guys are going to make their money. I'm sure everybody got paid, like Machio and Joshua Jackson and Jackie Chan. Like, I'm sure everybody got their fucking nut, got their fucking bag on this. And they made content. Like, it's like fucking kind of a garbage movie, as I said at the beginning of the show.
Well, I think the one problem I had with this is once it gets to, once they bring in Ralph Macchio, in reality, there is no point to his training.
No,
because they missed the one thing that the original Karate Kid. No, not even that. Like the original Karate Kid had, even Karate Kid 2 is, you can't fuck up a montage. You can't fuck up a training montage. And when they do like the effects where it's like 7 days to the tournament and they're literally in the middle of the same stance and all of a sudden it goes from 7 to 5 within like 2 seconds and you don't see any other training. I'm like, what was the point of this? Like, fucking put a fight montage in there. Like, just do something.
I do like training. Listen, I do like training montages. There is a couple in this which I enjoy.
We have to make you a complete soldier in very little time.
How are we gonna do that?
I think I know just what we need.
I actually like the training montage of Joshua Jackson's character. Like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's still not wax on, wax off. Like, that motherfucking but just before jumping on the show, I purposely watched kind of like the first minor section of Karate Kid, where he gets beaten up, he gets in the fight on the soccer pitch, which reminds me, Danny LaRusso is actually nobody's bitch. Like, he is actually a straight up New Jersey fucking working class kid from the fucking jump. He stands up to the kid with his shitty karate he's also super dope at soccer. I was like, of course he's Italian, right? Like, he's fucking kicking ass, taking names with the soccer. Then the guy fucking fucks his shit up and he just goes at him. Like, I was like, yo, this guy's got, like, he's savage.
I'm no punk bitch.
I ain't no punk bitch neither.
I'm no punk bitch.
Which I thought was really good. But like the original, so do not watch the original Karate Kid if you are planning on watching this movie. Watch it after. Because if you watch Karate Kid, the 1984 Karate Kid, and you go and watch this movie, you are going to be like angry. Like, you are going to probably throw shit at the screen because you are not getting the same movie. One is like prime rib. This one is like bologna that's on the discount sale.
Sure. I don't eat bologna. I don't know the reference. But
you're like, my family's European. We don't eat that shit.
You could have been like prime rib, and this is like a roast beef sandwich, right?
No, roast beef sandwich is like Karate Kid 3. Like, it's okay. It's still good, but it's still roast beef.
Right. But yeah, that was the thing. Like for this, it was fine. You also like. They did not waste any fucking time with an end credit scene either, right? Like, it was literally end of the movie. You have the title card, and then they do the end credit scene right then and there before I'm like, oh wow, like they're not even fucking.
So I didn't watch the end credit scene, by the way. So can you explain?
Really?
No.
Oh, it was kind of It was
I barely hung on to the end of this movie, so
yeah. I'm surprised you missed it because it was literally like the movie finishes.
There are reasons that I cannot disclose on our show.
Okay. You're like, I jizzed in my pants. I had to go.
I would totally disclose that on the show. What are you talking about? Anyway, go ahead. What's the end credit scene?
So they, because they won the tournament, Joshua Jackson's character, they opened a second pizzeria. And then Jackie Chan was going back to China, and they flew pizza from New York to LA to Danny LaRusso. And that's where Johnny Lawrence is there. And then Johnny Lawrence is like, why are you bringing pizza from New York? And LaRusso's like, oh, it's the best pizza. He's like, I just got a new idea for a business. And he's like, what? Miyagi dough. Olives on, olives off.
Shut up and take my money.
That's awesome.
He was like, this should be our new business.
I wish I would have watched that end credit scene.
he's like trying to make like, the pepperoni strikes hard. And it strikes. He was like trying to make all these.
The garlic strikes quick, starts fast, no surrender, no mercy.
But yeah, it was pretty funny. But like it was a nice nod to the series, right? But
also, why did the baddie in this, like the kid, why does he look like a younger, like as in like a kid version of the baddie instructor in Karate Kid 3? Like, who the fuck wears their hair like it's 2021? Who's got like a comb back, long hair, greasy like ponytail looking thing in 2025. Who has that haircut?
It should have been the man bun. He should have had the man bun.
Man buns are out too. Like, I don't know.
But that would have been how hardcore this motherfucker is. He's like, I'm so badass. I'm still.
Then fucking give him a Jerry curl then. Like, if we're going to just be ridiculous, let's give him a Jerry curl.
So if you want to go back, because I knew you were going to forget. So what about the tournament, the 5 boroughs tournament? Like, to me, it's a cool concept, but logistically, it makes no sense.
Okay, so first off, the fact that we're even talking about karate, and they touch about this in the Cobra Kai series, when we live in a world of MMA and like Thai boxing and stuff is silly. That aside, the tournament, I'm like, so, okay, at some points, this is trying to be a Karate Kid movie. At some points, it's trying to be a Jackie Chan movie, like with the comedic action of Jackie Chan, the way he does his violence. At other times, it's like a video game. Like, I thought like they were like almost like Street Fighter 2 style characters, like fucking like the way the competitors were dressed at the tournament. It was like they were trying to, and then they do the hits like 1 point, 1 point, 1 point. I'm like, this, what the fuck? Who wrote this fucking script? Oh, that's right. We know who wrote this script, and he does fucking garbage work on fucking TV.
I don't know. I've never watched the Goldbergs.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so for me, the logistics of this, it's all like each venue of the boroughs seemed like a very small place that was outside. And you'd figure if it was that packed and that popular, because remember, there's like flyers everywhere of this kid who's like the returning champion.
Hey, and how much does he win? 50,000 or something?
Yeah.
Okay, so this kid has won it how many times?
I think that hit last year was his first year because they said he was the returning champion.
Oh, okay. So this kid has won $50,000.
Yeah.
This child.
Yeah. Oh, it probably went to the, his hustler, dojo master kind of thing. Who knows?
It's
right?
like pimping him out karate style.
But yeah, so they're all like everywhere, like in rooftops and everything. But you'd figure like if it was this popular, it would be in venues big enough that, they can get as much fucking cash for money as they can.
Well, think about the original Karate Kid tournament. What's it called? The Bayside or
the All Valley?
The All Valley. That's in a fucking like little stadium. Like it's a community center, but it has seating, and that's just some like bullshit little fucking kids karate tournament. I agree with you. If this is this big thing, it's gonna be in like big places or cool. It's because they didn't want to spend the money on locations, right?
Well, even the final fight on that skyscraper, I watched it and I'm like, logistically, this is a safety hazard because there's no railings anywhere on that rooftop. And I'm like, if it's that ram-packed, some fucker's falling over.
Isn't there a, what's his name? Magic Mike. What's his name? What's the actor's name?
Channing Tatum.
Isn't there one called it's not called The Fighter or something like that, but it's where he's like an MMA fighter. He's like a wrestler trained MMA fighter. Do you know the movie I'm talking about? Anyway, there's literally a fight on the fucking building, and I was like, is it
that this is allowed, and that I believe that the early 90s, and it's fucking Rooftops, where it's the Brazilian dance fighting.
Oh,
capoeira? And it's literally called Rooftops because it's underground street fighting. It's Fast and the Furious, but with your feet, right? That's the only one that this is technically allowed with, right? Like by the time you're in 2025 and it's like advertised everywhere, you'd figure the cops would be like in the fire.
It's not it's not. Yeah, it's not really an underground fight at this point. Again, so that's why. So okay, this one. So maybe my original argument about that that brawl. It's like, well, nobody cares about the ref because it's underground. Okay, this is like a legit fight all over the city of New York. As soon as that kid fucking pushed the referee out of the way, that's it. You're disqualified. It's your over, buddy. You can't do that.
To me, again, spoiler warnings. Like there's 3 instances that threw me out of this movie. One was I already talked about with the underground fight. 2 was the party that they had to go to that was like for 2 seconds where he shows up, and for the first 25-30 minutes that you meet the girl, and how this fighter is her ex-boyfriend, and she hates him, doesn't want to talk to him, doesn't want to do anything.
I know exactly where you're going. Yeah, keep going.
Like just to build some romantic tension or something like that, all of a sudden they're friends there.
And they were looking more than just friends. The difference again, like Allie never is like cool with her boyfriend again. Like that, there's never any of that. She gets pissed off at LaRusso, but like she's never like like flirting with her ex-boyfriend again. Like,
and that was the thing in the original. Like Daniel was kind of a bully to Johnny.
No offense to Ralph Macchio, but he ain't the Karate Kid.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Okay,
right? Like,
Cobra fucking.
He goes to. No, I'm just saying he did. Like if you go to that beach scene, right? Like
he was just nope. Go fuck you. I purposely when I rewatched that beach scene, this is what I was watching about. What's is it Johnny? It's
he goes. He brings the jukebox.
He does not. He fucking picks it up and then he throws it on the ground. She's like, if I give it back to you, you'll talk to me. And then he throws it on the fucking ground. Like I thought he was gonna like domestic assault his girlfriend in that scene. So fuck you with your Cobra Kai revisionist bullshit. LaRusso just was standing up for that girl. That's how I said. Like he's a fucking hard motherfucker, even though he gets beat up and he hits him in the face. And he's like, okay, we're even. But he kicks the shit out of him. And he still just like goes at his buddy on the soccer pitch. Like, props to Daniel LaRusso. He's a fucking hard man.
Okay, and the other ones that threw me out, so it was those
Hold on. I want to finish one with him. Hold on.
Okay,
in that scene, though, where the like ex-boyfriend shows up, she's not just being friendly. He's like kind of standing behind her. Like it looked like they were on an actual date. I was like, you guys did not shoot this scene well because you're not, and you didn't even give it a situation where it's like what you saw is actually different than how things were playing out. Because she even says, she's just like, yeah, well, he wanted something, essentially he wanted something, but I wasn't going to give it to him this time. But it's like everything you were showing the audience was showing like, you were probably thinking about giving him that thing. So anyway, what's your next thing?
Okay, so the other two is tied. One is the fact that, the mob boss karate dojo, when he actually when they recreate technically the skeleton fight scene in the alley,
which is not as good as the skeleton. That skeleton fight scene is fucking
I'm just saying, like, how the fuck is his grown men mob muscle worse fighters than the 15-year-old or 16-year-old kid that
one
beat the
15-year-old
fuck
kid. One 15-year-old kid. Yes. He's like
with his hands tied behind his back.
Well, and why was he not able to beat that other kid? And I thought the same thing. I'm like, but he just whipped the shit, and he's going to train a former Brooklyn boxer. I did a Boston accent there, but he's able to train an adult, beat up a bunch of adults, but he can't beat up a little kid. Like another little kid. What the fuck are you guys doing? And
with his hands tied behind his back, remember? He goes, no hands.
That's right.
And he didn't use any hands. I was like, okay. I'm like, we're going to throw this off too.
And that scene also showed because I don't think that, what's the actor's name that plays the kid there?
Ben Wan?
Oh yeah, Ben Wang. Is it Ben Wang or Ben Wan? Ben Wang.
Maybe.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Ben
anyway,
Wang.
Ben. Is he actually a martial artist? Because I felt like they kept cutting back and forth between the stunt performer and him.
I went to NYU for musical theater.
So Tish.
And I trained professionally in dance. Throwing a punch is important. Knowing the proper form for doing those things is important to selling the fact that you're a person who knows how to do that. Right. But the discipline itself has a lot more to do with how well you understand rhythm and how well you can pick up choreography.
When you look at that edit, it's not like it's not like Jackie Chan where the camera just sits on him and you're like, that guy just did a backflip off a fucking building, or Tom Cruise running.
No, he unlike the other people who play the Karate Kid, he actually was an accomplished kung fu fighter. He trained, so he didn't need to get trained, right?
But they were still, I think they were still using a stunt some stunt performers in that scene.
Oh yeah, they probably just didn't want to throw like an 18-year-old kid against the wall.
Yeah. Like it's more about like if we break the kid, production has to shut down.
I was like, can I try it? He was so frustrated. He was like, yeah, get the thing. So I rigged up, and they go 3, 2, 1, action. He yanks that thing. The key is you spin twice, you catch yourself in time to sell the reaction, and then you flip over when he throws the thing. And we did it, and I got it the first time.
Yeah.
As Cliff Booth does, sometimes you got to carry his load. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the last thing that threw me off, and it goes to what you're saying.
I love how this is one of the most in-depth podcasts we've done on a movie. Like point by point by point, and it's like a fucking throwaway piece of content movie. We like came with the fucking receipts. All right, go.
But yeah. Okay. So the final fight, like you're saying, so you know, what was this? It wasn't the crane kick, but what was his thing?
Wasn't it the dragon something? Dragon fire kick or something?
Yeah.
But he had to slide. He had to go low.
Yeah. So when he finally hits that, wins the match, right? Because, you know, spoilers, it's a Karate Kid movie. Obviously, the guy is going to fucking win. Like, come on.
Imagine he does all that stuff. The guy just sees it and fucking just knocks him the fuck out.
He's like, call back, bitch.
Bam!
But yeah, so then they have technically the callback where, you know, this kid's whole fear is after his brother won a karate tournament in China, the guy who lost ended up stabbing him, right?
Yeah, fucking murdered his brother.
Yeah. So again, I'm assuming that kid in China is fucking in jail because there's multiple witnesses and, you know, whatever, but they don't actually do that.
I also don't know how many just like random stabbings they have in China because it's kind of a police state. So, but sure.
You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
But also that, like, okay, another thing in terms of that edit that makes no sense. So it's the brothers, then they get jumped by this group, right? The kid gets stabbed, but then it's Jackie Chan over the kid's body. So I'm like, was Jackie Chan like just watching them fight? Like, well, this like training number 2, right? Jack it
Listen,
off, like
everything's
knife
kung
in,
fu,
knife out.
buddy. Everything's your brother getting stabbed. Kung fu.
But yeah, so anyway, they do the callback where, you know, the boyfriend or whatever is now charging at him, and then he does like the flip hip toss thing and doesn't punch the guy.
Yes.
And then 2 seconds later, he lifts the kid up, and that's when the ref raises his hand as the winner, and I'm like, shouldn't you have ran to stop the fucker from charging? I'm like, what kind of officiating is this?
You're like, I'm calling your governing body. This is bullshit.
I don't know who pays you, man, but like, I'm pretty sure you broke some rules here.
So, and again, we're not gonna wax onto this too much. Like, there's also some like really cheesy editing. Like, and I'm talking like the edit process used, where they're like constantly like wiping back and forth, like scrolling, and I was like, oh, okay, this is getting annoying. But one of the scenes that I thought was like the most ridiculous and like not needed, even though this film's only like 90 some odd minutes long, and I guess they needed some filler, is the driving around on the moped. Because not only is it silly, like not required, like you're in fucking New York, take them on the sub. You can get them on the subway. Be like, yeah, we're gonna go to the Statue of Liberty. We're gonna take the subway. Like, there's ways to do this. That's very New York. 2, it's also cheesily shot. Like, it almost looks like, you know, like the 1960s films when they shoot face on, and then there's just like a green screen back. Well, and now it's a green screen background, but back then they would just like have like a photo behind them or something, and they would just move back and forth. Like, it was badly shot from a cinematic perspective and fucking pointless from a plot perspective, because all it's supposed to do is set up the interaction between them on the subway. So just have them on the fucking subway.
Well, maybe they just, you know, they only had so much time on the subway, like in terms of shooting, that they're like, we can only do one scene.
Okay, so then you just shoot them going to the subway, B-roll, then you have them come out in Brooklyn, B-roll, they come out in the Bronx, Harlem, whatever. Like, there's workarounds. The only reason, as I say this, that I think they did the moped thing is because they used motorcycles in the first one, maybe? I don't know, man. It's not even a scooter. It's a fucking moped. Like, fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But she still delivers pizzas on her fucking bicycle.
Yeah, that made no sense to me, because I'm like...
You have a moped. Why don't you use the moped?
Well, not only that, but the moped was broken. They established that. But
that's why she learned Chinese.
But no, that was for the oven.
Yeah.
Wouldn't your pizza be cold by the time she fucking got there?
I mean, I guess it is a big city. I mean, people deliver shit in Toronto on bikes and stuff, but they usually anyway, whatever.
But it's usually in that area because they're like, I have to go where? And she made it seem like it was pretty fucking far of a bike ride, right?
Yeah. So
and I was like, cold pizza.
I mean, I've got a couple quotes. I'm going to finish the show with one, but it's funny because Frank Scheck from the Hollywood Reporter basically had the same thing to you to say. Forget about 2 branches, 1 tree. This is the first branch presented for the 3rd time, or maybe even the 4th time, or depending on how you want to do the math, right? Like, this is just a bad copy kid. It is a copy kid. This is a bad, just like Karate Kid remake with the people from Karate Kid. You know what I mean? So, do you have anything else you want to talk about before I get us out of here?
No.
Oh, actually, I did have a question for you. Actually, I'll save it for our after show. I'll save it for our after show. Are you good?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to finish off with Tara Bradley it's Tara Brady from the Irish Times. Neither as fun as the early seasons of Cobra Kai, nor as effective as the 2010 reboot, Karate Kid Legends relies heavily on franchise favorites while bringing nothing new to the party.
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com.
So Scott, one of the things I actually just wanted to bring up with you is like, obviously Jackie Chan is in this. People know him from some big films, but like what is your like go-to Jackie Chan? Or like what Jackie Chan films do you think that people should watch if they only really know him from what is it like what is the ones that he's really the cop one?
Rush Hour?
Rush Hour, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Police Story.
I was gonna say Police Story too. Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.